Hello and welcome to Success Steps. I'm your friend Ashish and I wish you a happy July 4th. Friends, for those of you who do not know, July 4th is the Independence Day for United States of America. This is when the country was freed from the British. So on this occasion of July 4th, I want to share a very important thing about freedom. Just like power, freedom comes with responsibility. With great thing like freedom, you also have a great responsibility to make sure that the freedom that you have is not wasted. You make the best use of it. There are a lot of people in the world, a lot of countries in the world where people are not free. There is no freedom of speech, there is no freedom of religion, there are so many foundations. But in a country like United States of America, people are free in a lot of senses. So with this freedom, there is a big responsibility that is also on your shoulder. And as a leader, as a person who wants to be successful, it is very much important that you take the responsibility, you take the ownership and do things that a leader needs to do. And I'll tell you a very simple story. You might have heard about this in different manners, different forms, but this is a very small story, but it's very important to understand why this freedom needs to be maintained, why you need to take the responsibility to keep this freedom, and not only just for yourself but for the greater good of mankind. The story goes something like this. So near a seashore, whenever a big wave comes, it brings some starfishes with it, and the starfishes are laying on the beach, and the next wave comes and it washes them back in. Some of them stay on the sand and probably die after a while. So there is this small girl, and she's taking the starfishes and throwing them back in the water. She's picking up the starfish and throwing them back in the water. So there's another person who comes nearby and he says, "Why are you doing this?" And she's like, "I'm trying to save the starfishes." And she's like, the person is like, these starfishes, they'll keep coming with the waves. Every time these starfishes will come and they'll be laying on the beach. Even if you throw them back in the water, they'll come back. You will be doing this a whole day, you'll be wasting all of your time, and it is going to make no difference because they are going to come back and they're going to go back in the same way. So the girl turned back to him and he said, "You are saying that it makes no difference because I'm throwing the starfishes back in the water and they are going to come back from the water. It makes no difference. But you know what? The starfish that I just threw back, it made all the difference in that starfish's life." So friends, sometimes we get caught up in the big picture. Sometimes we get caught up in the politics. Sometimes we get caught up in so many other things and forget our responsibility towards one person. Forget our responsibility towards one community. Forget our responsibility towards one family or one city. Start with one thing. Start with something. Start with yourself. And you will see that you can be the change that you want in the world. So with this freedom that you have, take the responsibility, take the courage and do something about it. I know this world is going with so many things right now. We are dealing with COVID-19, we are dealing with so many racist mishappenings that have happened in the country. We need to take responsibility. We need to hear to people in the community. We need to understand what they are going through. We need to help them. And if you cannot help them, at least try to understand what they are going through. Friends, every life matters. So take responsibility, and on the occasion of this Freedom Independence Day, I urge you to take the next step in taking your responsibility and being successful. And I'm telling you again, it is the change that you bring that can change the world. Good luck. I'll see you